Proud of Taiwan. That's the theme of this year's National Day celebrations, which will take place on Saturday, October 10th.
That's right. We're going to give you a sneak peek at how Taiwan's getting ready to party. I'm Natalie So.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. Let's check out the stories on our radar.
Ethnic Taiwan singer Liang Taluvier, who performs under the name Bao, won 3 Golden Melody Awards, Taiwan's top pop music award, last weekend. Her album Kinakayan, or Mother Tongue, won Album of the Year and Best Indigenous Language Album, while a track called Thank You, which is dedicated to medical workers, won Song of the Year. The legislature unanimously passed a resolution calling for the restoration of official diplomatic ties with the U.S., and a second one seeking U.S. help in defending Taiwan. The opposition Kuomintang proposed the resolutions after Foreign Minister Joseph Wu said that the government was not seeking full diplomatic ties with the U.S. at the moment. The Kuomintang said it was surprised that the DPP voted in favor of the resolutions in light of the foreign minister's comments. Chinese hackers are suspected to have stolen personal data from around 6 million people who had created profiles on a popular Taiwanese job search website. This represents around half of Taiwan's working population, making this potentially the worst ever information security breach in Taiwan's history. The government's investigation bureau is looking into the case. Although COVID-19 is making public events impossible in most parts of the world, Taiwan is going ahead with National Day celebrations on Saturday. The events will include everything from a light show at the presidential office to fireworks in the southern city of Tainan. Meanwhile, a team at Taipei's landmark Taipei 101 skyscraper says that the annual New Year's fireworks display and light show will also go ahead as planned, hopefully bringing in a much less turbulent 2021.
It's time for our words of the week. Andrew, guess my word?
Alrighty. Play. Pals. Patrick. Patricia. Patriot. Patriotic.
Patriotic, that's right.
I'm like, who are Patrick and Patricia?
You want to play, right? You're play pals. No?
Yes.
So this week is National Day, so it's a good week to be patriotic and think about what we love about Taiwan. Also, we have the results of an interesting survey of how many people would be willing to go to war for Taiwan. We'll be telling you all about that in today's show.
Excellent. You ready for my word?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Oh, short word. Run. Row. Rock. RC! That's a good word.
You may hear some rock music during the parties that are planned.
That's true.
But for now, this is your annual reminder that the National Day of Taiwan is actually the National Day of the Republic of China, which is the official name of Taiwan's government. So it's not Taiwan's birthday, it's the ROC's birthday.
All right, thanks for that, Andrew. And let's put these on the shelf. This coming Saturday, Taiwan will celebrate the 109th anniversary of the Republic of China. That's Taiwan's official name.
Let's start off with a look at some of the things that are planned for this year's celebrations.
BMX bikes and traditional Taiwanese glove puppetry. These are just some of the things that will be featured at Taiwan's National Day celebrations on October 10th. The design concept for this year's celebration uses warmer colors like gold and orange to reflect pride and honor. That's in keeping with the theme Proud of Taiwan. The head of the National Day Committee, Yo Xi-kun, says that Taiwan has a lot of things to be proud of this year. For one, it's gained international recognition for its success in dealing with COVID-19. So what's in store for the National Day ceremony? Performances by Indigenous groups, elite military squads, and high school marching bands. Not enough, you say? There will also be helicopters, motorcycles, and jet fighters. 2020 has been a tough year for Taiwan and for the world. But this year on National Day, the focus will be on the many reasons for being proud of Taiwan.
All right, I'm very excited. We already have our official pamphlet, a brochure
right.
with
Very nice.
all the things that are going to be happening during the celebrations this year. Now, Natalie, and also now with us, Leslie Liao, you two will be hosting the live broadcast for this, right?
Right, here from RTI. So we're going to be in the studio. We're going to have a live broadcast from the same studio where we did the live election coverage from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Taiwan time.
Okay, and that's going to be on our Facebook page, Leslie?
That's right. You can either go to the Radio Taiwan International Facebook page or the Taiwan Insider Facebook page, like Natalie said, starting 10 a.m. local time or 0200 UTC.
And what's really exciting is the two of you will be on camera for the first time this year for the National Day celebrations, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. How's that going to go? What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be trying to look pretty.
You don't have to work too hard, Leslie.
It's a little harder than you might think to maintain this. But other than that, we're going to be bringing you a play-by-play of what's going on, all the performances, and I think the highlight is going to be the simultaneous interpretation of Tsai's speech.
That's us.
That's not easy. You guys will be simultaneous
Yeah, we'll
translating.
try our best.
Yeah.
So that's actually a nice challenge for us. We'll try to do our best.
Better you than me. Now, Leslie, for Hashtag Taiwan today, I understand that you looked into these colors. These are the official colors that we see for the theme this year for the National Day. Is that right?
Yeah, I was pretty much curious about how they came to those colors for this year's National Day, and I went and found out. This week on Hashtag Taiwan, I want to talk to you about Taiwan's 109th National Day. Taiwan's National Day takes place on October 10th. There's an entire government committee headed by the legislative speaker that plans the National Day celebrations. Each year, Taiwan's National Day has a theme, a logo, and a color scheme. This year's theme is Proud of Taiwan. The logo is usually some variation on two Chinese characters for 10 put together because, you know, double 10 day. Looking at last year's National Day, the theme was Taiwan Forward, and the color scheme that year was green, purple, and white. Again, double 10 logo. This year's color scheme is purple, gold, green, and orange. The National Day Committee says that gold stands for pride and orange represents hope. And when I heard that, I couldn't help but think, alright, who decided that? But if you scroll through the Planning Committee's Facebook page, you'll see that they thought these colors through thoroughly. They spend an ample amount of words explaining why they chose the colors they did and attach pictures with similar palettes to get their point across. They even include a Pantone code for each color, which is about as specific as you can get. Let me break it down for you. Let's start with the purple, Pantone 2725C. This color represents stability and nobility. Purple in 2020 represents the Taiwan Can Help movement, the country's unwavering commitment to helping the world get past the COVID-19 pandemic. Purple is the coral in Taiwan's oceans and the country's dedication to preserving its aquatic ecosystems. It's the last color of the rainbow and a symbol of Taiwan's commitment to same-sex marriage. Finally, purple pays homage to Taiwan's floral beauty. Next, gold, Pantone 873C. This color represents pride and Taiwan's land. Gold in 2020 represents the dirt on a baseball player's jersey because Taiwan was the first country in the world to resume professional baseball amid the pandemic. It represents the country's many magnificent temples and the protective spirits that have watched over the population during this trying time. Gold represents the bond that Taiwanese people have with the land and with each other. Finally, it represents the population's collective willingness to come together to beat COVID-19 by exercising good prevention. Next up, green, Pantone 929C. This color represents calmness and rationality. Green is the color of a stimulus voucher, which was designed to bolster Taiwan's economy in its time of need. It's also a common color found on the cleaning products we use to keep Taiwan free of the coronavirus. Green represents our collective flight through hardship as we navigate a turbulent world. Finally, it represents a return to normalcy, much like the subtle notes of sweetness found at the end of a sip of tea. Lastly, let's take a look at orange, Pantone 804C. Orange stands for sunlight and hope. Orange is the color of home. No matter where we come from, as long as we live on this island, we're family. It's the color of diligence and the strong work ethic of the Taiwanese people. Orange is the color of loyalty as we steadfastly protect this country. Finally, orange is the color of opportunity. Much like the sunlight that illuminates our day, opportunity is fleeting and we must take advantage of it before it's gone. I have to be honest with you. When I heard they chose gold to represent pride, I thought they pulled that out of a hat. But as far as explanations go, I'm sold. Happy National Day, you guys.
At the National Day celebrations on Saturday, we'll also see a performance by Taiwan's Air Force.
That's right. Now, the Air Force has been very busy lately. They have been busy intercepting Chinese planes that have been entering Taiwan's airspace.
583 jet trainers fly in formation over the presidential office on Tuesday in preparation for the National Day celebrations. Helicopters fly overhead, showcasing the national flag as well. The display is a demonstration of Taiwan's determination to defend itself. Chinese aircraft have been entering Taiwan's airspace at an alarming rate. The Navy has dispatched boats more than 7,500 times this year. That's 1,600 more times than last year. The Air Force has also deployed planes 2.3 times more than it did last year. These flights have cost nearly $140 million this year. Premier Su Zhenchang says with the Chinese warplanes nearing Taiwan, these costs are necessary to protect Taiwan's national security. Military expert Zhang Jiwen urged the military to strike a balance between national security and the economy, perhaps by including the Navy in its maneuvers. In any case, Taiwan's Air Force is standing by for any situation.
In light of increased tensions, ET Today did a survey last week asking people in Taiwan how willing they would be to go to war, and there were some interesting results. 45% said they're willing to have themselves or a family member fight in a war for Taiwan. 96% of 18 to 19-year-olds are willing, and 67% want to return to the 2-year compulsory service. Right now, it's only 4 months. Also very interesting is 52% said women should be required to serve in the military too. And in case you're wondering about the gender breakdown for that one, 56% of men agree, while 48% of women agree that women should be required to serve in the military. I was really surprised how many people support women being in the military.
I was surprised too.
Do you guys think that women should be required to be in the military just like men?
I think that in terms of gender equality, it would be great if both men and women were required to do some form of service. So national service, it doesn't necessarily have to be military service, but there would be options for both men and women. Yeah.
That's interesting. What about you?
I'm inclined to agree with Andrew, but at the same time, I did do my service, so viscerally it feels like kind of like a get even type thing. Like I did it, so everybody else should do it. So I'm gonna bow out of this conversation.
It's very touchy, especially if you say gender equality, because I think women, they have other responsibilities, like they have to bear children.
They don't have to.
Oh, they don't have
children.
to, but they usually end up bearing children and doing a lot more child care, domestic care than the men do. Of course, that's a whole different topic. And then you need to look at the low birth rate, aging society, if that would affect all of that, right? So, like from a bigger point of view. But I think women going to the military is great training, I think, for the women, for people in general as citizens. I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
So. I have a lot of thoughts about that.
A lot of thoughts about that?
What do you think? Let us know. We'd love to know what you think. Should women be required to serve in the military? Leave a comment below.
One of my favorite things to do during national holidays in Taiwan, like the National Day coming up this weekend, is to walk around at night and look at all the buildings which are beautifully lit up. So today's brain game, we're calling it Name That Landmark.
Cool. Oh, no. Okay, and they're going to be lit up, right?
That's right. So Natalie and Leslie, I went out last night and took pictures of some ROC-related buildings in Taipei.
Okay.
It's Republic of China-related buildings, beautifully lit up at night, and I'm going to ask you to identify them.
Okay, we'll try.
You ready?
We'll try.
All right, let's have a look at our first picture.
Oh.
Who got that first?
Leslie.
I believe I did. That's the corner of the Grand Hotel.
That's
a beautiful
right.
Picture.
That is
That's a
right.
great picture, though.
So the Grand Hotel, this was built in 1958 by Madame Chiang Kai-shek. Of course, she's related to a former leader of the Republic of China. This hotel was the first 5-star hotel in Taipei.
Oh.
And that is the view that you can see. Let's have a look at that picture.
That's beautiful.
So as you can see, it's right next to the a Radio Taiwan International building. So that's actually a twofer. That's two buildings in one picture related to the Republic of China. All right, you ready for our second picture?
Let's do it.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
Go for it.
is it the Foreign Ministry?
It is not the Foreign Ministry.
That's the
I have another idea.
that's the executive yuan.
Nope.
Oh no.
Taipei Guest House.
No.
Oh.
Examination ministry.
No. You guys are all around it.
Legislative yuan?
No.
Control yuan.
Yes. Leslie, you are correct. That is the Control Yuan. This is the nation's main watchdog body, and it's one of the 5 branches of Taiwan's government. Now, this building is very interesting. It was built in 1915 during the Japanese occupation. And actually, Natalie, you were very close when you said Taipei Guest House because it's very similar. It has the curved mansard roofs, which are similar to it. Now, at the time when they built it, this is sort of like the Taipei city government of today. So it housed the offices of the Taihoku Prefecture, which is current Taipei City, New Taipei City, Keelung, and Yilan.
That's a huge area.
Huge area.
Wow.
Beautiful building.
Cool.
All right, let's have a look at our next photo. Leslie.
National Theater.
Wow, you got that.
Very good.
How could you tell?
I know my ancient Chinese building.
I have to say, you also, you made a good guess because it could have been the National Concert Hall,
It was
too.
50-50. I took it.
All right, so the National Theater is located in the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall complex. Of course, Chiang Kai-shek again, ROC. Now, the government authorized the building of the National Concert Hall and the National Theater, which this is, after Chiang Kai-shek's death in 1975. It was completed in 1987. At the time, it was one of the biggest performing arts spaces in all of Asia.
Oh, really? All of
Yes,
Asia. Wow.
all of Asia. All right, let's have a look at our final photo.
Oh,
Leslie,
Presidential office.
you are killing it.
very good.
What clued you in?
I don't know. I guess I just pay attention to buildings a lot more than I expected I ever would.
All right, let's have a look at the full picture there. All right, so I took this last night. They were practicing for the light displays for National Day, so it's all beautifully lit up there. Now, this building was completed in 1919 during the Japanese occupation of Taiwan. Now, it housed the Japanese Governor General at the time. It actually was damaged during bombing by the Allied forces during World War II. After the Japanese then left Taiwan, the ROC government came to Taiwan and they set up the presidential office in that building in 1950.
Cool.
Cool, right?
Thank you. Those are nice pictures, Andrew.
Well, thank you. I was racing around. Leslie saw me leave the office very quickly last night because I was afraid I was going to miss the lights.
He was at 9:30. He left the office early, like early by his standards, 9:30 at night. And he's just like, I gotta go do something for tomorrow's Taiwan Insider. I was like, oh, I don't like this because the last time he took a field trip, I ended up eating pork floss ice cream. I was not okay with it.
So that was a little nicer to you this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at any rate, those are some of the buildings that will be beautifully lit up on National Day. Now, speaking of beautifully lit up buildings, I want to take you now on a midnight tour through the sights and sounds of the Nuit Blanche, or the White Night, which went up in Taipei last weekend. It's well past midnight and the streets of Taipei are packed. Thousands of people are here, some planning to stay up all night long. And what have they come to see? Wait a minute, is that a game of tennis? Think again. This tennis match soon transforms into swing dancing. And the location? The middle of a busy Taipei intersection, which is closed to traffic for the annual Nuit Blanche celebrations. Crowds converge upon the brand new Taipei Pop Music Center for a feast of sights and sounds that will last until 6 a.m. Everywhere you turn, there are performances like this one. But it's the light installations that have transformed the city that I know so well into a psychedelic wonderland. This one, by Luxury Logico, is called Poetry of Light. Not far away, a glowing box. People have etched their love for music across the surface, allowing the light to shine from within. But perhaps the most mind-blowing piece is this data monolith by a Turkish collective called Ouch. They created this, wait for it, by mashing up AI algorithms and data from ancient times. It's almost impossible to process what we're looking at, but that's okay. These art installations of the Nuit Blanche have transported us to a different space, a different time, far away from the reaches of the global pandemic. And for a moment, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Welcome to this week's Taiwan News Quiz, where I'm going to be quizzing Natalie and Andrew on their knowledge of the news this week. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
guess so.
sure, why not?
Here's a hint. A lot of them are National Day related.
Oh,
So
no.
here you go.
Okay.
60 seconds on the clock, please. All right,
I have
guys.
that booklet.
Number one, in a surprise twist, the opposition Kuomintang is trying to rebrand and appeal to a more pro-Taiwan audience. What did one of their unanimously passed resolutions in the legislature ask for?
The U.S. to defend Taiwan.
And also formal diplomatic ties with the U.S.
Correct. United Airlines says that it will resume flights to Taiwan starting in November. They axed their daily flights in March due to COVID-19. How many flights a week will they operate this time?
3.
3, correct. Influencers on Twitter pointed out that which U.S. government entity now has more confirmed cases of COVID-19
The White
than Taiwan?
House.
Correct, the White House.
Oh, that's bad, actually. It's
Who
not funny.
is scheduled to lead the national anthem singing during the National Day ceremony on October 10th?
All the health officials.
Correct. How many overseas Taiwanese are expected to attend the National Day ceremony?
10,000?
1,500.
Very good, 1,500.
Oh, good.
National Day celebration fireworks show will fire off 16,882 individual fireworks. It's expected to last 33 minutes long. Where is the fireworks celebration taking
Tainan.
place?
Tainan.
Correct.
Yeah.
And last question, bonus question, you guys.
Uh-oh.
What was so loud that it woke me up this morning in a panic at 6:41 a.m.? Hint, they were practicing for National Day.
Air
was
Force.
the Air Force fly over the jets?
I wasn't sure if it was an F-16 or anything else, but it was really loud and it freaked me out. And the interesting thing was I was dreaming at that point.
About war?
It wasn't about war, but like the volume in my dream like cranked up with
my
the jet
goodness.
fighter coming over.
Well, yeah, I have to say, like a couple nights ago, I was standing near the Starbucks near my house, and like these big like military vehicles came down the street. And I was like,
Really?
whoa,
Wow.
what's going on here?
It is way too sensitive a time for that to
Definitely.
be taking place.
Yeah.
That is not, I mean, you know, hey, Taiwan, great, 109
Yeah.
years, but
Yeah, the ROC. the
ROC,
yeah.
lighten up on the military stuff maybe during a sensitive time, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's all this for this week's Taiwan News Quiz.
Proud of Taiwan. That is the theme for this year's National Day celebrations. So we're going to end with this question. Leslie, what about Taiwan are you proud of?
Really, Andrew, if I'm speaking honestly, I'm proud of the way they chose the colors for this year's National Day. It was just so meticulous and well thought out that I can't help but love it.
I got the feels.
You got the feels?
Yeah. Natalie?
I'm so proud of how we handled the pandemic, the government, and how the people came together. And I wish the whole world can be like Taiwan in that way.
Absolutely. I'm going to echo that and say that I'm really proud of the fact that Taiwan has a government that works to keep its people safe. So thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Taiwan Insider. Be sure to connect with us on social media.
Yes, subscribe and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. For Taiwan Insider, I am Natalie So.
I'm Leslie Liao.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. Happy National Day.